All right, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the D&N Show. The Monday before WrestleMania, actually, as I'm recording this, WrestleMania is this weekend. Today we're going to be talking about March Madness, NFL news, and WrestleMania predictions, so stay tuned after this. Alright, so thank you for tuning in again, ladies and gentlemen. I am your co-host, obviously. I am by myself today, but I am your co-host, D-Nag. And today I want to start out with the updates for the Final Four of both the women's and the men's bracket, because we are finally down to the Final Four. Tonight, Caitlin Clark exploded for 40 points to take Iowa to the Final Four once again, where they are going to be facing either the number 1 seed Southern California or the number 3 ranked UConn. Last I saw in that game is still going on. It had 7 minutes and 30 seconds left at the time of recording this, and they were both at 59, so it depends who happens to win. But on the other side of the women's bracket, we have the number 1 seed South Carolina versus the number 3 NC State. I haven't been following college basketball enough to make predictions, but if I were to just look at it, I think it's going to be NC State versus Iowa in the championship for the women's bracket. And I think Iowa's going to take it, especially because Caitlin Clark has been exploding. Has been doing pretty good. So that's just my prediction. As for the men's bracket, it is the number 1 ranked UConn versus number 4 ranked Alabama on one side. And surprisingly, the number 11 seed NC State versus the number 1 ranked Purdue. NC State beat out Duke, I believe. And they were ranked number 4, so now they moved on to the Final Four, which I don't think they're gonna be. I don't think they're gonna win against Purdue. So I think it's gonna be Alabama and Purdue in the championship round for this one. And obviously, like I said, that's judgmental because I haven't been following college football or college basketball at all very well this year. I used to, but I don't anymore. But that is the update for that one, and that is my just on paper predictions. The next news I wanted to talk about is a little bit sad, but it was reported today that Vontae Davis did pass away today. He died at the age of 35. I guess it was reported that they found him dead at home, which is really sad news to hear, because he was the player that I think he was on the Bills, and he retired at halftime, if I remember right. He just walked back and he was like, I ain't going back out there. I ain't got it anymore. And retired. So, our thoughts here at D&N TV, our thoughts and prayers are out with his family. So, pray for him. Final topic that I wanted to go over, and this one's going to be a lengthy one, is my WrestleMania predictions. WrestleMania is April 6th and April 7th. It's a 2-night thing, and we will be posting night 1 live reactions again and night 2 live reactions as well. So do be ready for those. It's going to be me and Mr. Natsu live recording, live reacting to it. So do be on the lookout for that this weekend. So for night 1 match card, and this is as of right now, this is what's confirmed. It's a jam-packed night. First, we have, and I don't know if this is the exact order, so I'm just going to, this is the night 1, these are the night 2 so far that I've seen that got confirmed. We have the 6-pack tag title match with Judgment Day versus the New Day versus the New Catch Republic versus the Awesome Truth versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory versus DIY. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And this one I thought was interesting. I believe that Judgment Day is going to win this. However, I do want to mention that I did see some stuff where, like, somebody like The Miz or somebody like R-Truth is going to go up and grab one title belt. One of the title belts. Like, from the different brands. One of them. So then Judgment Day is going to go up and grab the other. Or they're going to be fighting for him up at the top, and R-Truth is going to grab one, and Finn Balor's going to grab the other one. Damian Priest. R-Truth's going to grab, like, Raw or something. No, he'd grab SmackDown. So R-Truth grabs the SmackDown belt, Damian Priest grabs the Raw belt, and then they officially break them up because I don't think that there's any point to having them unified anymore. It just doesn't make sense not being on Jay and Jimmy's titles being unified anymore since they're not on them anymore. So I think that they need to split them back up. So, but that is my prediction. I think Judgment Day is going to win one belt, or going to win the Raw Tag Team belts, and The Miz and R-Truth are going to win the SmackDown. Next, I have Jade Cargill versus Bianca versus Jade Cargill and Bianca and Naomi versus Damage Control. I don't think they will. They will not have Jade Cargill lose at her first Mania. Interesting choice having her sign on and having her immediately at the next Mania. Interesting choice. But I do feel like they are going to pick up the win against Damage Control. I do not feel like they are going to lose. That one, it's just, honestly, it's just facts. Not even facts. It's common. There's common knowledge. She's supposed to be a huge star. She's supposed to be a game changer. So there's no way that they're going to have her lose at the first Mania that she's wrestling at. So they're going to pick up the win. And it's Bianca too, and Naomi's returning too. You don't have two wrestlers coming into the WWE and Bianca Belair and have them lose when you have them team up. It just, you would be highly dumb to make them lose. But that is what's gonna happen. Next match, I have Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. This one on night one, this one is my match that I'm looking forward to the most because we are finally getting Uso versus Uso at WrestleMania. And that is their one dream match that they had that they wanted to do before they retired. So I believe Jey Uso is going to pick up the win. I think he's going to separate himself as being a good singles wrestler, because ever since they both came into the WWE, they have always been a tag team. So I feel like it is a good thing for them to have him pick up the win, so that way they can separate each other. Whether they come back as a tag team afterwards, fine by me. Whether Jey beats Jimmy and makes him realize that Roman is not hit, and he does not need to be Roman's bitch, go for it. That would be fine with me. But I feel like Jey is going to pick up this win because they need to separate them as being legitimate singles wrestlers, which is great. And especially after Jimmy's been constantly ruining his chances and ruining his chances and ruining his chances for titles. It's just, yeah. So Jay's going to pick up the win on this one. Next, I have Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the women's, I want to say it's the women's heavyweight championship, but correct me if I'm wrong. So it's the Women's World Championship, and Io Skies is the women's championship. I get those mixed around. But this one I went back and forth on for the WWE Women's Champion. Women's World Champion. Okay, so it's Women's World Champion and then Women's Champion. Now I got that right. For the Women's World Championship, I've gone back and forth on this one. It would make sense for Becky to win. However, I feel like Rhea's going to be the last one to hold a title for Judgment Day. I believe that Judgment Day is going to eventually lose their titles, and then Rhea will lose her title, and then the Judgment Day will split, is what my thought process is as of right now. So I think Rhea's going to win, but I would not be entirely surprised if Becky Lynch wins. They push her time and time again, so it would not surprise me. But as of right now, as it stands right now, I think Rhea's going to take this win. Now, the next match I think is the main event. Is The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. The stipulation of this match is if The Rock and Roman win, Night 2, Cody versus Roman, is a no disqualification match under the Bloodline rules. And if Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins win, all members of the Bloodline are barred from ringside. Now, this one is a very tough one for me. This one's a really hard one. Because it would be very interesting to see lightning strike twice in 2 nights in a row. For Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins to pick up the win, and the Bloodline's barred from ringside. So I see this happening 2 ways. So Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins win night 1. Ban all the members of the Bloodline from ringside completely for the Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns match night 2. But in that scenario, Seth Rollins loses the championship. And then he turns on Cody Rhodes, and Roman picks up the win again and goes on and continues to hold the belt. Or the one that I believe is going to happen, that because I can see that scenario happening. I can understand it. I can see it. But to have Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble twice in 2 years and lose both times would be a very bad decision. I personally think to have him win 2 Royal Rumbles in a row, to face Roman 2 times in a row, and have him lose both times would not be a very good decision. I get the longevity kind of shit, but I don't see that happening, especially because people were saying WrestleMania 39 was kind of like Avengers Endgame, where Thanos won. WrestleMania 40 is going to be Endgame, where Thanos loses. Is what I would like to see. Would I be disappointed if Roman picks up the win? I would. In a sense. But he's had a huge run. It's going to happen. But the scenario that I'm going to see that I believe right now is going to happen is The Rock and Roman Reigns are going to win night 1. It will be no disqualification. You don't put The Rock on the main on the match card at a WrestleMania just to have them lose. It's like last year or the year before that when Stone Cold Steve Austin faced Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Came out, beat him up, pinned him, done. Sometimes you don't put a legend on the match card just to have them lose. I know it's been done. Like Undertaker losing his streak at WrestleMania to Brock Lesnar. I don't think that he deserved to beat that streak, but that's just me. But somebody like The Rock, especially since he holds a higher seat, I don't think he gets put on the roster or on the WrestleMania card just to lose. I think they win at least his match. But that's where this gets interesting. Because then it becomes no disqualification. Which brings me to night 2, where in this case, Seth Rollins still loses the title. Because I think as soon as CM Punk comes back, it's going to be McIntyre and CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Is ideally, I think, what is going to happen, since they're having a feud going. But, so he still loses the title. Match 1. Or night 2. That is my prediction. Seth Rollins is going to lose at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship, and he's going to take some time off. But, naturally, you would think Seth Rollins is going to take offense to that and try to allow Cody to lose at the main event. But Cody Rhodes is not going to be the one to be betraying. Seth Rollins is not going to be the one to betray somebody at that main event. It's going to be The Rock. Now, The Rock is going to turn on Roman night 2 after they won. Because whether he states it or not, I would hope that this happens because it would bring such full circle. The Rock looks at Roman and says, "You defied the rules of tribal combat against Jey Uso. So therefore, you are done." And turns on him. And it's a no disqualification, so it don't mean shit if he hits him. He loses, and then, as he's distracted, or whether he hits him, whatever the fuck it may be, the Bloodline's not going to get involved anyway, because The Rock is going to stop Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa, or at least Solo, from interfering. Roman's on his own, gets distracted, Cody comes up, Cody Cutter, Crossroads, 1, 2, 3. And then that possibly sets up maybe The Rock and Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. Maybe. But in this scenario, that is what I have happening. And if I get this right, Triple H, I know it's slinging. I know we've said that before. We have said that before on this show. And it went terribly. Fucking terribly. But this time, I think it's happening. I got it. I got the notes. I got the notes right here. The Rock and Roman are going to win night 1. Seth Rollins loses night 2. Loses his title in night 2. And Cody picks up the win at main event of night 2 of WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia to finally finish his father's story and becomes the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. Because, and especially, ain't no way they putting Cody Rhodes on the cover of 2K24, and he ain't gonna win. He won at WrestleMania. He won at Royal Rumble. People really said, time to finish the story. He said, time to finish the story when it was announced that he was going to be on, or he said, finish the story when it came to being the cover athlete of WWE 2K24. Then he won the Rumble. He's going to win at WrestleMania this time. You don't make that match and make the main event match twice in a row to lose both times. That would be so screwed. He's going to win. The other matches for night 2. Oh, I forgot one. So I forgot ones for night 1. So night 1, I'm going to continue this. Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship, night 1. Gunther's going to win. There's no point in having Sami Zayn in that match over Chad Gable. I don't think so. Gunther's going to win. And then Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. This one, I think Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar are going to pick up the win because I believe the LWO isn't going to last very much longer. That's just me. Night 2, Io Sky versus Bayley for the Women's Championship. I have Bayley picking up the win because she turned face. Io Sky did her wrong. So I feel like Bayley's going to pick up the win. Next, this one I didn't really pay much attention to, but it's a Philadelphia street fight with the Pride versus Final Testament. I believe one of the two teams costed the other one. One team costed the other team in the final qualifying match for the six-pack tag title match, and now they're doing a Philadelphia street fight at WrestleMania. And this one I think is just to put people on the card, just to fill up the card. And they've already feuding anyway, so it doesn't matter. So it's not a total off throw. But I have the Final Testament winning this match. I don't know who they are. I know one of them is Lashley and the Street Profits, which I think is the Pride. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the comments below, correct me if I'm wrong if the Pride is Lashley and the Street Profits. Next, I have LA Knight versus AJ Styles in their feud match. I think LA Knight picks up the win at WrestleMania because I believe he's got a bigger push than AJ Styles does. AJ Styles, yes, he's turning over a new attitude, but I feel like LA Knight's going to pick up this win because he's just got a better run. Next, and this one's going to be interesting, the U.S. title triple threat match with Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. I would like to see Randy Orton walk out of this as United States Championship. However, I feel like they need to give him a bigger title run than just the U.S. title. So I wouldn't be surprised if Logan Paul comes out with this win again because he has been doing very good in the WWE. Don't get me wrong. He's been doing really good in the WWE. So, and especially Prime being the main logo on the mat, it would make sense for him to win. But my prediction's Randy Orton, but I wouldn't be surprised if Logan Paul wins either. So that one, like I said, so that is all my picks for this one. So like I said, I'll make a quick rundown. Six-pack tag title match. I have Judgment Day winning. Jade Cargill, Bianca, and Naomi are going to beat Damage Control. Jey Uso beats Jimmy. Rhea Ripley beats Becky for the Women's World Championship. Rock and Roman win night 1 against Cody and Rollins. Gunther beats Sammy for the IC title. Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar beat Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. Night 2, Io Sky loses to Bayley for the Women's Championship. The Final Testament is going to beat the Pride in the Philadelphia Street Fight, which it'll probably be the other way around if that's the case. If the Pride is Lashley and the Street Profits, LA Knight will beat AJ Styles. Randy Orton's going to beat Logan Paul and Kevin Owens. McIntyre's going to beat Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then Cody Rhodes is going to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania Night 2 main event. Let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen at this WrestleMania. As always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notifications. We are trying our best to keep consistent content going out, so thank you for always tuning in. My voice is about to go hoarse. So, again, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, as always, stay classy, don't be trashy, and enjoy the rest of your night, morning, day, evening, Tuesday, whenever you're seeing this. So it's been a real one, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see y'all in the next one. Deuces!